Human beings lead a busy and bustling life. In the chaos of our daily lives, rarely do we think about our planet and the effects of our actions on her. Smoke rising from industrial structures or even from the chimneys of our own homes, turning the clear blue sky into a dark, dull, and grey expanse, rarely captures our attention. Plastic bottles lying on the earth, waiting to be picked up, and trash flowing with the currents of rivers, yearning to feel the breeze of land, are nothing but common to our modern eyes. This alone is a sign of how we are living in an incredibly dangerous era, an era of unpredictability and ignorance. Now, why should we start looking, and why should we care? Let me tell you. Pollution from energy sources like coal, natural gas, and oil can cause a huge range of severe medical complications like asthma and lung cancer. This brings about unnecessary suffering and extraordinary medical costs. A big percentage of the energy we consume today emanates from fossil fuels. Refining these fossil fuels into useful energy like gasoline for cars or electricity for home applications involves emission of vast amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. Carbon dioxide is the chief contributor to the greenhouse effect and global warming. The impacts of global warming are apparent these days, including changing weather patterns, increase in atmospheric temperature, rising sea levels which threaten to submerge some islands, and proliferation of deadly diseases like cancer. And one of the ways to combat these issues is by conserving energy. Energy exists in different forms around us. Conserving it means saving time and money, which will definitely lead to the betterment of mankind. Instead of spending too much time on solving the problems created by energy consumption, we also have to focus on eliminating the problems themselves. But how can we conserve energy and focus on building a future where energy consumptions cause no problems? Let us see. Energy conservation can be as simple as turning off lights or appliances when you do not need them. You can also use energy intensive appliances less by performing household tasks manually, such as hang drying your clothes instead of putting them in the dryer or washing dishes by hand. Traditional incandescent light bulbs consume an excessive amount of electricity and must be replaced more often than their energy efficient alternatives. Halogen incandescent bulbs, compact fluorescent lights or CFLs, and light emitting diode bulbs or LEDs use anywhere from 25 to 80% less electricity and last 3 to 25 times longer than traditional bulbs. The process of checking your home simply requires you to give it a walkthrough inspection and search for any damage that may have been done by the elements over time. During this walkthrough, you should look out for air leaks in windows and doors and also check other areas that may need weather stripping. In addition, be sure to check the insulation in the walls, attic, and plumbing. These are few of the simplest ways in which you can conserve energy in your day-to-day lives. India, being a developing country, has always been energy dependent and will always be in the future. Her needs only grow with time and they require energy. But we also see her and our planet Earth suffering in silence, choking on the smoke from our homes and heating up in the blanket that we put around them. The simple ways of conserving energy that I spoke of before can help our planet breathe again. Let us not forget that our generations to come also need this planet, not the hotter and angrier version of it. So let us prioritize our future's needs ahead of ours and watch our planet blossom for our children and grandchildren. We are living in the 21st century, an era of great change and development. Although conservation of energy can be considered a solution to the problem, We should be focusing on eliminating the problem itself, that is, energy sources that, when used, destroys our planet. Here comes the role of safe alternate energy sources. Switching to solar, wind, geothermal energy, etc., can be very useful in the long run. Let us see a few of them in little detail. Hydrogen gas. Unlike other forms of natural gas, hydrogen is a completely clean burning fuel. Once produced, hydrogen gas cells emit only water vapor and warm air when in use. The major issue with this form of alternative energy is that it is mostly derived from the use of natural gas and fossil fuels. As such, it could be argued that the emissions created to extract it counteract the benefits of its use. Solar power. When most people think of alternative energy sources, they tend to use solar power as an example. The technology has evolved massively over the years and is now used for large-scale energy production and power generation for single homes. Natural gas. Natural gas sources have been in use for a number of decades, but it is through the progression of compression techniques that it is becoming a more viable alternative energy source. In particular, it is being used in cars to reduce carbon emissions. Hydroelectric energy. Hydroelectric methods actually are some of the earliest means of creating energy, though their use began to decline with the rise of fossil fuels. Hydroelectric energy carries with it a number of benefits. Not only is it a clean source of energy, which means it doesn't create pollution and the myriad issues that arise from it, but it is also a renewable energy source. Switching to the above-mentioned energy sources will take time. This also requires proper support from us as well. Hence, we would like you to please join us in this fight for a cleaner and brighter world.